Welcome back to What You're Not Thinking About in the Cosmere. What you're not thinking about in the Cosmere is something called Adonalsium. Now, this is a thing that takes place in the background of certain books. This video will contain no story spoilers, but will contain light background spoilers, and technically will contain spoilers for a book that Brandon has not read yet, or written yet. Because this is a story that is happening in the background of the Cosmere tens of thousands of years before our current story, and we will eventually get that prequel story told in the Dragonsteel trilogy, tentatively scheduled for after Stormlight Archive 10, which is probably 25 years from now. So you probably won't even remember this video. But this is a thing that Brandon has talked about regularly. There are hints to this throughout the epigraphs of certain books, throughout unpublished works, and throughout some of the more Cosmere connective books, let's say. So, 3, 2, 1. What is Adonalsium? Adonalsium is the being that created everything in the Cosmere. What is the Cosmere? The Cosmere is a dwarf galaxy that contains the books that Brandon has written that do not include or reference Earth or a parallel version of Earth. So if anytime you're reading a Brandon book and you see somebody talk about Earth or America, that is not in the Cosmere immediately. Reckoners, Rhythmatist, Alcatraz, Cytoverse, all wonderful series, not in the Cosmere. What is Adonalsium then? We don't know. Could be a being, could be a power, could be an item, could be a weapon, could be a place. We know that Adonalsium existed. The first references to that in text come from books like The Hero of Ages, where we have a certain character gaining Cosmere level knowledge and saying, I have seen the word. Repeat it, Adonalsium. He's going to look into that. We see then references to the after-leavings of Adonalsium. This is going to be a long series going at least 16 more videos, because in addition to Adonalsium, we know that about 10,000 years before the events of the Stormlight Archive's prehistory, so about 14,500 years, give or take, before the events of Way of Kings, there was the capital S shattering, involving capital D Dawn Shards. Now these are items that have seen reference in books, but we still haven't fully gotten to see on paper what a Dawn Shard can do. But we have heard that they were used to kill or destroy Adonalsium, to capital S shatter him, or it. What did that shatter into? 16 capital S shards, not to be confused with Stormlight Archive's shard blades and shard plates, which are collectively referenced as lowercase s shards. Those 16 pieces of God, of Adonalsium, took on 16 attributes of the divine. They did not necessarily have to form those 16, but these are the 16 that they did, and they were taken up by 16 of the 17 individuals involved in the shattering. Now, if you've read all of the Cosmere, these names might sound familiar to you from epigraphs and from light mentions in the background of text. Ati, Leras, Tanavast, Caravisium. We're still a little bit unsure about her name. Bavadin. These are some names of the vessels of the shards of Adonalsium. We'll talk about each of them in a video dedicated to each of the particular shards of Adonalsium. Among the attributes are things like odium, which is anger and rage and passion. We have preservation, we have ruin, we have cultivation. Each of these attributes then is expressed in the particular magic systems that exist on certain planets, as well as the ways in which those attributes have affected the people who held those shards. As a quick aside, we know that there were humans, dragons, and Shodel. Dragons and Shodel are both Fane life, which we see in Dragonsteel Prime, basically meaning they have 6 limbs instead of the traditional human 4 limbs. So kind of interesting. We've not seen a lot of those in the Cosmere. They've popped up in a couple of the secret projects, but other than that, if you want to see them on screen, you got to go to Dragonsteel Prime, at least for now. And we know that after the Shattering, a lot of things have happened. Some of them have been capital S splintered, and no one is currently holding those shards. Some of them have been capital C combined, and some people think more will be combined in the future. It is a grand time to be theorizing about the Cosmere, and if you're interested in following me on this journey, let me know which shard in the comments you would like me to cover first. Let's read and find out.